As we're getting into sports, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. You think you know your stuff? Get into the winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get a game of blackjack or poker run by with one of our over 150 slot games they have. Head to the website today and use promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Code BLEAV, capital BLEAV. Okay, next one's from Keith Gallowagger, and the subject is, what is going on here? Who would have guessed that back in 2023 when Mia Yim became a member of the OC that in 2024 she'd be the only member of that faction even being used on TV? My questions for Konnan. Do you have any information why AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, or Luke Gallows aren't being used in WWE? Have you heard anything about backstage heat or injuries or any reason why these guys aren't being used? It's so weird to me because WWE under Triple H's watch made such a big deal about them reforming. P.S. Bonus question for Konnan. You stated that people like Meltzer and some AEW guys won't come on the show if Disco is there. Do you think that you may be live streaming those interviews on YouTube without Disco, or do you refuse to do it without Disco?
Even though I would love to disrespect Disco, I think it would be disrespectful to everything he's contributed to the show. You either come
I wouldn't care though. If you want to do these interviews without these guys, I'll sit out. Or about coming, I'll bomb them. I'll like come into the.
You mean an ambush? That would be great. Yeah. I might set that up.
Right.
I might set that up. That would be great. I go, how'd you get on here? Well, I have my ways.
You know what you should do, Konnan?
Well, we kind of did that on the first podcast, didn't we? Like the first, I remember we did this either on MLW or
it was the first K100. Yeah.
Yeah, where he kind of sneaked in, right?
Yeah, and he was like, "No, I'm a co-host. I'm on the show." And you're like, "What? I didn't agree to that." And you're like, "It's like, oh, I signed my own deal."
What bad acting that was, right? Why are AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows not being used?
I haven't heard anything on them. I would have to ask. I haven't heard anything. It's weird because they made a big deal out of them, and then they never really used them, and then they separated, then they brought them back together, and then they didn't use them again.
How about this, Konnan? Why don't you see if Dave will come on the show, okay, and say, hey, look, I know you don't want to do it this way. You have your conversation, but Disco has 2 questions that he would like me to ask for him to you. Would you be willing to answer those questions and see what he says?
All right.
Do that.
It's rumored that AJ's return has been delayed a few times, but the plans are being finalized now. And he actually just wrestled against Cody Rhodes in Europe, so he's probably working his way back to TV. I can't find anything about Gallows and Anderson, though.
Next is from Ramon Sanchez, all in 2025 Texan star. Good evening, fellas. All in 2025 will be in Texas, as we all know. Konnan, as a booker, would you be getting out and build up a Texas born and bred wrestler in a long-term feud for a final blow-off at the pay-per-view? Will a hardcore Texas deathmatch feel special after the 50 they've already had in the last 5 years? Nothing? Thanks, fellas. A Texas, why would you, bro, it's 2024, like, just because you're running Texas doesn't mean you have to have a Texas guy on the card, like, too grief. I think it's too early to book for all in 2025, obviously. You got any comment on this?
Yeah, they'd probably use the same people from Texas. They always use, Thunder Rosa, Sammy Guevara, Dustin Rhodes. Now they've been using the Von Erichs. They might have a surprise of, somebody that lives in Texas that they haven't used in a while. No names come to mind, but there must be a million people.
Shell out $5-10 million and bring in Stone Cold Steve Austin to Texas. I think that would be the move. He never.
Next is from Narks Riggedy.
Real quick, let me just Gallows.
Why wouldn't you do that?
No, he wouldn't. I don't think.
Where's your news? You got to do the news thing, Joe.
Well, that wasn't news. That was nothing. But the news thing for Gallows and Anderson.
Yes.
So they're actually recently on NXT, and then they're trying to be a part of the TNA. Maybe make an appearance on TNA because of the working relationship. Same thing with Pro Wrestling Noah, from what I read. And they're doing Talking Shop again. Going. Remember their podcast? They're doing that again.
Interesting.
I've never heard it, but I know that it does well.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.